37M, 38F, partner wants me to pay half of her work gas commute money. Me and my partner have been together for 8 years and have recently moved into the house we bought together. We mostly have reached the agreement on how to share finances. We have our own accounts, but one common one for household where we put the money we need proportionally. Partner who has higher salary puts in proportionally more. However, my partner also wants to share the price for her commute to work. Her argument is that I work from home, which is a perk. To me it seems that she should pay herself for her commute to work, as that is not a common expense. And me working from home is not an excuse for that. Anyone in similar situation has advice how they solved or would solve similar situations? Update me once you start dividing toilet paper mileage. This commute thing seems like too much emphasis on fairness and counting dimes, instead of love and generosity. Maybe I'm just fortunate enough to be in a relationship where we both really like taking care of each other, and we just pay for what we can instead of keeping track. And it feels like we're always getting and giving presents, even when it's just one of us going to the grocery. And when we have a bigger expense, whoever is in the best financial position at the time will step up. So whoever knows the most about cars should probably take your car, our cars, in for service and pay the bill if you can easily do so. And whoever stops at the gas station to fill up can pay for the gas. Though I'll occasionally take the car my wife drives out to run an errand and fill it with gas just because I know she'll appreciate not have to stop on the way home from work. You might want to talk to a financial sub about how to fairly split finances. Split finances are a lot of work. My partner and I like to keep things simple and combine finances towards a common goal. We have been together for about the same time as you have. Splitting hairs on all the little expenses sounds exhausting. We see ourselves as a team and pull our money together. I know this will not work for everyone, but I couldn't imagine her or me having to argue about whose turn it is to pay for gas, etc. Combining our incomes has allowed us to buy a house and a lot of other financial things we could have never done alone. I don't understand some of these relationships these days. Every relationship I have ever witnessed, and even my own, we share everything and take care of each other. I guess times are really changing. If you want to get fancy with it, I could agree that her gas to work should come out of the pre-split income. Meaning, if her income is $1,000 a month, and she spends $100 on gas, then her contribution to the shared fund is based on $900 of income. The logic works the same way that your use of extra heat, electricity, internet, and a dedicated workspace in your home are being covered by your shared budget. Right? You're not contributing to cover those extra expenses? Things to pay with a joint account. Anything that is done to maintain the marriage, relationship, keep your person and children happy and healthy, e.g., mortgage, groceries, family vehicles, education, schooling, family vacations, etc. Your account. Things that keep you happy. Basically anything you want. So I've been in almost this exact scenario. Though as your partner, my commute has always been about an hour one direction. My partner has always worked near our home. At first, we did something similar. Equal proportionate share to household expenses, then we had our own accounts for our individual spending pleasures. Over time, I did start viewing gas as a household expense rather than a spending pleasure. It sucked when gas prices skyrocketed and I didn't have as much play money as I intended. Is that my partner's problem? No. Not really. So I get both points. But my job was also a necessity for us. Some things we did over the years while I covered my own transportation. I found alternate transportation through bus, train, and carpooling. When my job shifted and those options weren't available, we just started adding gas as part of our expenses and both use the joint account for gas when we need to fill up. To be honest, it was never a sticking point for us either. Others are pointing out good advice about you working from home and possibly consuming more resources. But I'm not sure how practical nickeling and diming everything is. I mean, I assume that your partner also takes their own meals. So are you really consuming more that way? I don't know that this helps. But I understand both points. I pay my own commute to work. I can't see all your finances. So I couldn't actually tell you what is financially fair. I can just tell you my husband. Together 8 years. Married for 2. And I consider gas as joint. But the coffee, snacks from the gas station isn't. That said, we merged everything once we got married. Edit. Wrong word. This seems weirdly Nat's ass. If y'all coo in a house, I personally would go soft on finances rather than divide up to this level. If you're going to make her pay these business expenses out of her income, she should be allowed to deduct these costs and reduce her % share of payments on all other household payments accordingly. Or you could not be a hard ass about it and allow gas and vehicle expenses to be budgeted as mandatory costs rather than pleasure costs. Commute costs are $120 a month. Splitting it is $60 a month. Commuting is part of how she gets her income that you are jointly sharing, and she could reasonably request more maintenance, tires, depreciation, etc. Perhaps you should pool your income proportional to hers. Income equals income minus food minus gas. You would end up worse. Perhaps you should reimburse her for half of the additional costs you incur by working from home. Is the heat higher than it would otherwise be if nobody was home? Additional electrical use? Any food you eat? Additional electricity? Additional garbage? Additional wear and tear on coffee machine, dishwasher, filters, etc. Wouldn't be my choice for a hill to die on. If $60 a month, and where she has good point to boot, is worth eroding your relationship, that is your choice. My answer to her seems fair to me. She paying half the energy bills while you work from home? I get where both people are coming from, but think gas expenses should come out of the joint account. Otherwise, you need to stop being a hypocrite and start paying for the use of the shared home for your workplace. You use more utilities, more household goods. You probably have a dedicated space. If you want to get transactional, you'll lose. So be supportive partners working together and support a reasonable expense. She's already out. She'll be the one picking up dinner or stopping at the store. Oh, it's just a small errand. You're already driving past X. It's never as simple as you're making it out to be. Y'all are really fighting over who pays to gas up the car. SMH. Whoever drives the car buys the gas. End of. Car payments and transportation are a part of a budget plan. That's something you guys should be counting as a household expense. This isn't a hill I'd be willing to die on with my spouse. Though I agree with you. It's really not that deep. Relationships that get to this level of transactional is just not worth it. At this point, do y'all even like each other? Question. What do you lose by contributing to her commute? And what do you gain? I work a hybrid model and I prefer working from home so much more than commuting. It makes me so grumpy to have to wake up early, pack my lunch, fight traffic, etc. I know these are fairly first world problems, but bear with me. I'd feel even more grumpy if I had a spouse that got to work from home more. The recognition of me having the more bum deal by contributing to the commute would help me feel supported. cared for, and less grumpy about having to go out in professional dress in 10-degree weather. What if she said that you should pay rent for the use of an office with additional costs of heating, lighting and internet, etc.? Having an office at home has costs as well. Is this included in your split of expenses? You've been together 8 years and you're nickel and diming each other like this? This is completely ridiculous. TBH, I'll never understand people who stay together that long, buy a home together, and can't bring themselves to combine finances. If you have that much trust and that great a partnership, there shouldn't be any mine and yours. Just ours. So you want her to pay more of the expenses because she earns more but don't think you should share in the expenses of her job? Just because you don't have a commute cost doesn't mean hers isn't a shared expense. Pay up.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.